My beloved brothers and sisters, listen very carefully. When your heart breaks, it feels like everything is falling apart, but what you don't see is that something greater is already being prepared for you. A broken heart is never a sign that you are abandoned. It's a sign that Allah is shifting your life towards something better. He never leaves a broken heart empty. If it broke, relief has already started moving toward you. Stay with me. This message is for you. When your heart breaks, something in the unseen moves. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments when life suddenly becomes heavy. When the smile you force no longer hides the storm inside. When you lie awake wondering how something so painful entered your world. When your chest feels tight and your hands tremble because you don't know how to move forward. But remember this, the moment your heart breaks, something in the unseen begins to move. Your pain is not ignored. Your tears are not wasted. Your silence is not empty. When you feel alone, that is when you are most surrounded by divine care, even if you cannot feel it yet. Every heartbreak you experience is witnessed by the one above the heavens. He knows the ache behind every tear. He knows the words you couldn't say. He knows the people who walked away and the hopes that slipped through your fingers. And whenever a believer's heart shatters, it is never the end. It is the beginning of a rebuilding that is far more beautiful than what you lost. Just like how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam faced profound loss before receiving powerful openings, your pain too is a sign of a new chapter being prepared for you. Your heart didn't break to destroy you. It broke to awaken something inside you, to soften you, to elevate you, to pull you closer to the one who never leaves you, even for a moment. Hold on. Something beautiful is in motion for you right now. The hidden purpose behind every painful detour. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest truths you must understand about heartbreak is that it is never random, never meaningless, and never placed in your chest without a reason that is connected to your future. Every disappointment you faced, every door that closed when you begged for it to stay open, and every person who walked away when you thought they would remain forever was part of a divine script written long before you took your first breath. When something you loved is taken from your life, it is not because you were unworthy of it. It is because it was unworthy of the place your heart is destined to reach. Sometimes the path you think is perfect for you is actually the very path that would drain your soul, mislead your growth, or delay a greater blessing that is silently moving toward you. There are moments when your prayers seem unanswered, and you begin to question why relief has not arrived. But what you don't see is the unseen protection that has already been placed around you. Perhaps the delay you are experiencing right now is saving you from a mistake you would have cried over later. Perhaps the person who left was blocking a future happiness you have not yet imagined. Perhaps the plan you wanted was too small compared to the plan that is being prepared for you. Pain has a language that the heart understands only after time passes. What feels like loss today often becomes the reason you rise tomorrow. Your tears are not pushing you backward, they are preparing your heart to recognize a blessing you might have ignored before. And understand this deeply. When your path suddenly changes, it is because the one who guides destinies knows where your soul truly belongs. Nothing is taken from a believer except that something more meaningful is written in its place. When you trust this process, even the setbacks begin to feel like hidden gifts. Your pain is not delaying you, it is shaping you into someone capable of receiving what you once could not handle. Your heartbreak is not a punishment, it is a sign that a more beautiful chapter is being quietly put together for you, piece by piece, moment by moment, with more wisdom and mercy than you could ever imagine. The healing pattern written in the lives of the prophets. My beloved brothers and sisters, when your heart feels heavy and your world feels uncertain, remember that the greatest people who ever walked this earth were shaped through heartbreak long before they were honored with relief. Look at the journey of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before he was entrusted with the weight of revelation, he tasted deep sorrow, profound loneliness, and painful separation from the people he loved the most. These heartbreaks were not signs of weakness, nor were they punishments. They were gentle preparations, quietly transforming his heart into a vessel strong enough to carry the light of guidance for the entire world. If the most beloved human to ever exist needed heartbreak to rise, then know that your own heartbreak might be the very ground upon which your greatest blessings will grow. Think of how many times the lives of the prophets shifted dramatically right after a painful moment. When Prophet Yusuf was thrown into the darkness of a well by those who should have protected him, it felt like a cruel ending, yet it was actually the beginning of a journey that would lead him toward unmatched honor. When Prophet Musa was forced to flee from everything familiar and dear to him, it felt like a painful escape, yet it was the path that led him to strength, wisdom and leadership. When Prophet Ayub endured suffering so intense that anyone else would have shattered under it, he discovered a closeness, patience and inner richness that became a timeless lesson for all hearts until the end of time. Heartbreak was never the end of their stories. It was always the turning point towards something far greater. So understand this deeply. If your heart is breaking today, you are standing in the same spiritual pattern that the prophets walked. You are being refined, not rejected, elevated, not ignored, prepared, not punished. Every tear you shed is washing away what was never meant for your future. Every disappointment is redirecting you away from what would have harmed you. Every piece of your heart that falls apart is creating space for growth, wisdom, compassion, and a level of inner strength you would never have discovered without this moment of pain. The healing you seek is already unfolding in ways you cannot yet see, because your Creator is never late, never absent, never unaware of what your soul is going through. And perhaps the most beautiful truth is this: the prophets emerged from their heartbreaks not only restored but transformed into the best versions of themselves. What you are facing now may be the doorway to a version of you that is calmer, wiser, stronger, and more connected to your faith than ever before. Your heartbreak is not writing a tragedy. It is shaping a testimony. It is carving your soul into someone who will one day look back and realize that this painful moment was the beginning of everything you once prayed for. The transformation happening inside you that you do not see yet. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are times in life when the world outside may look unchanged, but inside your heart, a silent transformation is unfolding with every breath you take. Heartbreak is not just an emotional wound. It is a spiritual realignment, a recalibration of your inner world, and an invisible pulling of your soul toward a place it was always meant to reach. Pain has a way of stripping away illusions, exposing truths you once ignored, and awakening the parts of your heart that were asleep while life was comfortable. What feels like loss may actually be the beginning of clarity. And what feels like emptiness may be the first sign that Allah is making space for something far more precious than what was taken. When you go through heartbreak, you begin to discover things about yourself that you never noticed before. Your patience grows in ways you didn't think possible. Your reliance on the world weakens while your dependence on the most loving becomes stronger than ever. Your priorities shift from chasing what glitters to seeking what brings you genuine peace. The disappointments that shook you become lessons that shape you. The silence you are forced to sit with becomes the place where your soul finally starts to speak. During heartbreak, the heart undergoes a purification that no comfort could ever provide. And although it hurts, it molds you into someone with a deeper understanding of life, faith, and purpose. Sometimes the transformation is so subtle that you don't notice it while it's happening because you are too focused on what was lost. You replay conversations, moments, and memories, wondering why things didn't go the way you hoped. But what you fail to see is that every unanswered prayer was saved for a better time, every delay was crafted to protect you, and every closed door was moving you toward a version of yourself who would one day thank Allah for what He withheld. Growth is often disguised as discomfort, and healing is often wrapped in moments of confusion. The transformation you are undergoing right now may feel heavy, but it is building the emotional and spiritual capacity required to receive blessings that your older self could not carry. And perhaps the most powerful part of this process is that heartbreak makes you more real with yourself than ever before. It forces you to confront the corners of your soul you avoided when life was easy. It teaches you to recognize your own worth without relying on the approval of others, and it prepares you to walk through life with a calmer heart and clearer vision. You begin to understand that peace is not found in people, but in the one who created your heart. You realize that love is not something you beg for, but something that Allah places in your life at the perfect time and in the perfect form. The tears you shed today are polishing your heart so it can shine tomorrow with a clarity you have never experienced before. So if you feel like your world is falling apart, know that it is being rebuilt from the inside out. You are changing, growing, healing, and rising, even if it does not feel like it. One day, you will look back and marvel at how much strength, patience, and wisdom came from a moment you thought would break you forever. This chapter of pain is not the end of your story. It is the foundation of a greater version of you that is slowly, beautifully, and purposefully emerging. A blessing that is being prepared for you behind the curtain of pain. One of the most comforting yet deeply misunderstood truths about heartbreak is that while you are grieving what slipped from your hands, something far greater is quietly being arranged for you in the unseen. Nothing leaves your life without a divine replacement already in motion, and nothing breaks within you unless it is meant to be rebuilt with stronger foundations, wiser understanding, and a deeper level of spiritual maturity. What feels like an ending to you is often the moment when the next chapter of your life begins taking shape in ways you are not meant to understand yet. You may be standing in confusion right now, but clarity is already being prepared. You may feel empty today, but fullness is already moving toward you. You may feel lost, but your path is already being redrawn with more precision than you could ever imagine. Every blessing that is written for you is crafted with remarkable timing, perfect wisdom, and unmatched love. And sometimes the heartbreak you are facing is simply a way of pushing you into position so that you do not miss what was created specifically for your soul. Think of how many times you held on to something because you feared losing it, not realizing that letting go was the doorway to something more peaceful, more stable, and more aligned with who you are becoming. The blessing that is coming is not ordinary. It is something that matches the depth of your pain, the sincerity of your prayers, and the purity of your intentions. Just as hardship refines you, your blessing is being refined as well, shaped in a way that will fit your heart perfectly when it finally arrives. In these moments, patience becomes more than just waiting. It becomes a form of trust, a silent belief that the one who knows your heart better than you do would never withhold something good without giving you something greater. Sometimes the delay you experience is not because you are unworthy of what you want, but because what you want is not yet worthy of you. There are dreams that need more time to mature before they enter your life, relationships that need more shaping before they become safe for your heart, and opportunities that need more preparation before they align with your growth. Every second of waiting has meaning, and every heartbeat carries you closer to what has been written with purpose. And my beloved brothers and sisters, reflect on how many people received their greatest blessings right after their most painful moments. How many times have we seen someone lose what they thought was everything, only to later discover that the loss was a doorway to something beautifully unexpected? The same pattern is unfolding in your life right now, even if the picture looks incomplete. Your heartbreak is clearing the path, removing obstacles, and purifying your intentions, so when the blessing finally arrives, you will recognize it instantly, appreciate it deeply, and protect it fiercely. You will look back and understand that the pain you endured was not a disruption of your life, but a preparation for a blessing that needed a stronger, wiser, calmer version of you. So allow your heart to rest for a moment, knowing that what is coming is not random and not rushed. It is perfectly timed, divinely crafted, and intimately connected to the prayers you whispered in your darkest nights. You are being led towards something your heart cannot yet comprehend. And when it finally unfolds, you will realize that every tear you shed was watering the seed of the blessing that is about to bloom in your life. The strength you are unlocking through this heartbreak. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most extraordinary realities of heartbreak is that it awakens a strength within you that you never knew existed. It is easy to feel strong when life is gentle, when people are kind, and when everything moves according to your plans. But true strength is revealed when life tests you in ways that shake the very foundation of your soul. During heartbreak, your inner world expands in ways that comfort never could. Your patience stretches beyond what you believed possible. Your resilience grows in silence, and your heart begins to develop a deeper understanding of its own capacity. What feels like weakness is often the first glimpse of a strength that is being carved within you quietly, painfully, beautifully. There is a kind of strength that only comes from being brought to your knees, not in defeat, but in surrender. When pain becomes overwhelming, you begin to detach from the illusions that once controlled your happiness. You start to see clearly which attachments were draining you, which people were misaligned with your journey, and which desires were never meant to settle in your heart. This clarity becomes a form of empowerment, because heartbreak forces you to focus on what truly matters. It strips away superficial comforts and teaches you the difference between something that entertains your heart and something that nourishes it. Slowly, you learn how to rebuild yourself, not with fear, but with wisdom. Not with desperation, but with dignity. Not with dependence on creation, but with trust in the Creator. As you move through the stages of this pain, you will notice that your heart begins to strengthen in areas it once felt fragile. You become more patient with yourself, more gentle with your past, and more hopeful about your future. You start to understand that every heartbreak carries a lesson. Every disappointment reveals a truth, and every painful goodbye opens the door to a better hello. The strength that grows inside you becomes layered emotional strength that lets you heal without bitterness, spiritual strength that allows you to trust even when you don't understand, and mental strength that helps you walk through life with a calmer, steadier heart. What once overwhelmed you now teaches you. What once broke you now heals you. And what once frightened you now prepares you. My beloved brothers and sisters, remember that strength is not always loud or visible. Often it grows quietly in the moments when you keep moving even though your heart feels heavy, when you choose compassion over anger, when you decide to rise even after falling again and again. Heartbreak deepens your emotional maturity and widens your spiritual vision, and one day you will look back and realize that the pain you felt was not a sign of your weakness, but the birthplace of your greatest strength. You will see how every tear carved out space for wisdom, how every struggle polished your character, and how every closed door pushed you closer to the path that was written for you from the beginning. You are becoming stronger right now. Even if the process feels slow, you are shedding old fears, releasing past attachments, and discovering a version of yourself that is more grounded, more confident, and more connected to the purpose of your existence. This inner strength will not only carry you through this chapter, but it will also elevate every chapter that comes after it. The heart that is hurting today will one day become the heart that guides others, comforts others, and inspires others, because the strength you are gaining now will become the light you carry into the future. The dawn that awaits you after this dark night. My beloved brothers and sisters, the journey of heartbreak often feels like a long night where every hour blends into the next, where silence becomes heavy and where hope feels distant. But what you must remember is that no night, no matter how dark, has ever defeated the dawn that comes after it. Your heart may be tired, your mind may be overwhelmed, and your soul may feel drained from carrying emotions you never asked for. But this very exhaustion is the sign that you have reached the end of a difficult chapter and the beginning of a softer, brighter, more peaceful one. While you worry about how things will unfold, there is already a new page being written for you. A page filled with gentler moments, deeper peace, and blessings tailored specifically to the wounds you carry. Every heartbreak brings with it a turning point, a moment when the darkness begins to shift even before you realize it. While you think nothing is changing, the reality is that your heart is being healed in layers so delicate that the transformation is almost invisible. Look at how, despite your pain, you still get up every morning. Look at how, despite the heaviness, you still manage to smile at others. Look at how, even in your hurt, you still carry kindness inside you. These are not small things. These are signs of a heart that refuses to die in the darkness. This resilience, this quiet strength is the early light of your dawn. It shows that something inside you is still alive, still hopeful, still reaching for the future that was promised to you. The dawn that awaits you is not just a return to normalcy. It is the arrival of a version of you who is wiser, more patient, more grounded, and more grateful for the blessings that once seemed small. You will not only survive this chapter, you will outgrow it so beautifully that one day you will forget the intensity of today's pain and remember only the lessons, the growth, and the transformation it brought. You will meet blessings that feel like they were designed specifically for your soul. You will meet moments of peace that feel like they were written to soothe your scars. You will meet opportunities that make you grateful for every delay, every disappointment, and every tear. The pain you are experiencing now will become the reason your future joy feels so profound, because it was born from a heart that refused to surrender. And my beloved brothers and sisters, there is something even more comforting. Your Creator never allows a heart to remain in darkness without sending light to guide it. The relief you are waiting for may not come in the form you expect. It may come through new people who enter your life with sincerity, through opportunities that unfold unexpectedly, or through a peace that settles in your heart in a way you cannot explain. What is written for you will find you, not because you chase it, but because it was always meant to reach you. Your dawn is already moving toward you, step by step, moment by moment, guided by wisdom far greater than your own. And when it arrives, you will look back and realize that the night you feared was actually the bridge that carried you to a brighter, more meaningful morning. So breathe deeply and trust the timing of your life. Your heart will not stay in pain forever. A day will come when you wake up and feel a calmness you have not felt in years. A day when your heart feels lighter, your thoughts feel clearer, and your soul feels grounded again. You are not walking toward relief. Relief is walking toward you. The dawn you have been waiting for is already rising, and soon your heart will shine again. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one message I want your heart to carry from this reminder, it is this: your story is not ending in pain. You were not created to remain broken. You were not meant to walk through life with an empty heart, and you were never abandoned in your darkest moments. The tears you cried were seen, the prayers you whispered were heard, and the pain you endured was woven into a plan far greater than the one you imagined for yourself. A day is coming sooner than you think when everything will make sense. You will look back and realize that the heartbreak you feared would destroy you actually became the chapter that rebuilt you. You will see how every delay protected you, how every closed door redirected you, and how every painful moment shaped you into someone stronger, softer, wiser, and closer to your Lord. So do not lose hope. Do not let the darkness convince you that dawn isn't coming. The relief written for you is already on its way, step by step, carried by mercy, guided by wisdom, and prepared with love meant only for your soul. Your heart will heal, your life will open, your story will rise again. And if you felt this message speak to you today, type in the comments, "My heart will heal and relief is coming." May your next chapter be softer than your last, and may your heart find the peace it has been searching for.